Good evening, everyone. I'm Zach Tigert. It was another game day here in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide playing host to the Kentucky Wildcats this evening on homecoming. The Wildcats have never won in Tuscaloosa before, and Alabama and the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban looking to make sure that rings true. In the second quarter, game tied up at 3 apiece. Joshua Jacobs, the true freshman, fights his way into the end zone, and Alabama takes the lead 10-3 in the second quarter now. Or excuse me, still in the second. Kentucky with the ball, but not for long. That's Rashawn Evans with the forced fumble. And Ronnie Harrison scoops it up and scores. Alabama up now 17-3. Now in the third, Jalen Hurts rolls out to his right, looks downfield, and finds Calvin Ridley for the touchdown. And the Tide starts rolling after a slow start. Still in the third now, second and long. Jalen Hurts again, this time stays in the pocket, fires to Ridley again, and it's the same result. Alabama goes on to improve to 5-0. They beat Kentucky on homecoming 34-6, the final score. And a win is a win, and the Tide will certainly take it, but it was another slow start for the Crimson Tide. I'm joined now by WVUA 23 Sports Director Gary Harris, who has more on the victory. Gary?
Well, Zach, you said it. You know, even though Alabama dominated the statistics, 161 total yards for Kentucky, 488 for Alabama, the Tide was sluggish. In the first half, Jalen Hurts had a hard time getting going offensively in the passing game. Second half, they were a little bit sharper. Now, Alabama did get that non-offensive touchdown that you showed, the fumble return by Ronnie Harrison for a touchdown. They've had a non-offensive touchdown in every game this season. So Alabama continues to be very opportunistic. At the end of the day, it wasn't a dominating victory, but for the #1 team in the nation, it was good enough, 34-6. And afterwards, Nick Saban said, hey, Kentucky deserves some credit for keeping it closer than many expected. They're a better team than what people have said.
All in all, I think that it's a good win for us. I knew this would be a tough game, as I said to many people all week. Kentucky's got a much better team than what everybody gives them credit for, especially in the last couple weeks when they've sort of been trying to run the ball and do what they can do very well, and their defense has played a lot better, and I think that was certainly the case today. So you got to give them a little bit of credit. You got to give Mark a lot of credit for bringing his team back that way.
And the most important stats for Alabama, 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the SEC, with a big road game next weekend at Arkansas. It's been announced that that will be a 6 o'clock kickoff in Fayetteville and be carried live on ESPN. Alabama wins it 34-6. I'm Gary Harris reporting live in the studio. Zach, back to you.
Thanks, Gary. Kentucky certainly knew what they were up against coming into this game. They had to face the #1 team in the country in one of the loudest stadiums in the country. And despite the loss on the field, Kentucky head coach Mark Stoops says his team is capable of bigger things.
You know, I felt like we did some better things in this game. And, you know, the bad thing is there's, you know, we're still capable of so much more, and that's what aggravates you. I definitely feel like we grew. We've been talking about improvement and growing as a team. You know, I think we did that in certain phases and maybe took a step back in others, but we'll keep on working. That's a quality football team in a hostile environment.